Welcome to The Switch. I'm Elena Casas. Artificial intelligence may seem to generate content from the cloud, but its vast energy use brings it back down to Earth. The International Energy Agency estimates the power used by data centers could double by 2026, meaning that globally, data centers alone would be using as much electricity as Japan. And it says the growth in clean power generation is failing to keep up with that demand for more electricity. Well, Kate Saenko is a professor of computer science at Boston University, and she joins me now. Kate, hello. Just how energy hungry is generative AI?
Generative AI consumes more energy than past ways that we've used computing. For example, some have estimated that using ChatGPT just once can be almost 20 times as energy consuming as just a web search.
Tech giants have admitted that generative AI has led them to miss their own climate targets. Carbon emissions at Google soared 48% last year compared to 2019, and Microsoft's gained 29% compared to 2020.
So let's talk about the carbon footprint of transformers.
Academic Sasha Lucioni helped create a tool to quantify the carbon footprint of running a piece of code.
We don't have the exact numbers for data centers. We don't have the exact numbers, for example, for a Google search as it was before generative AI and now. And I think that consumers, users really want these numbers because a lot of them now have the environment in mind.
AI is using a lot more processing of data. So every time you issue a query to something like ChatGPT or any other large language model or chatbot, what's happening behind the scenes is there is a very large model, sometimes consisting of billions of computations that is run each time on the text that you're typing in. So this takes way more energy and way more power than just a single search that you might be typing because of just all the processing that's going on in the background.
To meet the extra power demand, big tech has been turning to nuclear. Amazon and Google have announced deals to buy power from small modular reactors, while Microsoft signed an agreement to resurrect part of the decommissioned 3 Mile Island plant. But these projects are several years away from coming online and would generate a tiny fraction of the 47 gigawatts of extra power Goldman Sachs estimates data centers will use in the US alone by 2030.
Personally, I think that instead of focusing on getting more energy sources, we should be focusing on making sure that the way in which we use AI is more frugal, is more climate oriented, is more sustainable essentially. And if we solve that problem, so for example, the fact that we can't opt out of generative AI systems, the fact that we don't know how much energy they're using, we don't know how all of this adds up, essentially makes it difficult for even us, even policymakers, it makes it difficult for them to regulate these tools because they don't know what they're working with.
Very, very large models are not always necessary for all applications. If you think of something like a large language model, it can do anything from generating a poem to helping you with a math problem. And sometimes we just have very narrow tasks and we don't need as large of a model to solve those tasks. So if you think of something very, very focused, like maybe some piece of intelligence that is running all the air conditioning in your house, it doesn't need to generate poetry. So that's one way we can make these models smaller.
How then can we develop a greener AI?
Maybe rethinking the move fast and break things modus operandi that we've adopted. And I heard someone say, move slow and fix things instead.